So apparently there's a growing trend right now where there is a significantly higher percentage of individuals that report having no close friends compared to previous generations. Classic. So we've got the loneliest generation and down all around. We're going to get deep here. I'm also kind of talking about everybody being single, you know? Like I'm 35 with no kids, and that's just totally normal. Anyways, this guy kind of lays it on the line for us.
I think we're headed toward a very lonely society. I think we're headed toward, I mean, you look at the numbers and stuff. People aren't getting married. People aren't having kids. This is serious stuff. Like, people are not getting married. They're not having kids. They're not having friends. They're not having community. They're not having human connection.
Definitely not having sex. This is statistically proven.
Like, people are not wanting to have human connection anymore. Like, that's going out the window. And I think because human consciousness has, like,
two-thirds of men.
He just started saying, like, human consciousness in the government. He started going, we'll go back to him. He goes a little off the rails, a little into the danger zone. But when, like this one right here, why two-thirds of young men are single? This is Legion of Men. I really like him. I'll leave all the YouTube channels down below. But when I'm bringing up the single stuff is because now that I'm older here, or anybody my age or above, you could probably attest to this. Basically, I spend all my time with my girlfriend, my lady. You know what I mean? Like, I rarely see my friends. Not that I don't have any, and I don't want to say necessarily I feel lonely, but if I didn't have her, good luck. I need like 5 dogs.
Under 30 are single, and again, people lie about these numbers.
Two-thirds.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know that stat. Two-thirds of men 18 to 30 are single. And I think the numbers are really higher because most people, when they say they're in a relationship, they're in a situationship. And, or maybe not most, but a very large amount. And I don't count situationships as relationships. And
well, like, not to have some crying chick here, but this is like to paint you a perspective that it's not just men, all right? It's women too. This chick, I'm 37, have 0 friends outside of my coworkers, go absolutely nowhere unless it's work or the supermarket, struggle with depression, and I'm constantly trying to become a better human. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say you can change, but as you could tell, it's like, I feel like it's kind of, it's going to get worse. I don't wish this on anybody. I'm part of the thing here, okay? I'm a part of the never seeing anybody bracket society generation. I'm in the game. No, I don't like it.
The almost singular piece of advice I've been giving my son since he's graduated high school is, I don't care about any other part of what you decide to do with your life. Find a woman that shares your values and team up with it.
that's very Italian.
It's very Papa Italiano. Now, this is something I hear a lot. You know, I do this for a living. I see a lot of this stuff where it's like, you know, like being a loner is good. Like, be an eagle. You know, eagles don't have friends. But this is kind of the rhetoric you hear, but it almost doesn't make any sense. I'll explain.
If you look at the most powerful or iconic animals in nature, you start to understand that being alone is power. How? Eagles fly alone. It's only little pigeons and smaller little birds that like to flock together.
Okay, just in case I get copyright for that music, basically he was saying eagles fly alone, and it's really only the smaller birds that flock together. Okay, well, I guess everybody's a fucking eagle nowadays, just flying around. I was curious. I was like, do eagles mate? All right, and according to Google, they go, yes, eagles mate. They typically mate for life. Okay, they keep going on about eagles. We're not going to do a whole history lesson on eagles here. But it looks like we got a lot of eagles out here that ain't doing that even. So that was kind of my point, where like people use these analogies, and I'm like, yeah, well, at least they still have sex and can find a partner and maybe have a kid or two to share the experience with. Unreal. Birds aside, we're going to cut in here for a quick commercial break. Today's video is sponsored by my friend Ishmael here, okay? Health insurance is a bit out of control nowadays, But maybe he could help you save a buck or two if you need some coverage. Anyways, Ishmael?
Yeah, thanks, Jack. So a lot of people are looking for health insurance right now. It's open enrollment, tons of options out there. Everybody's obviously feeling like they're overpaying for coverage that isn't good. What I do is I work with all major carriers, Aetna, Blue Cross, Cigna, and United. I help small businesses, families, and individuals find their best health insurance options based on what they qualify for. We work with their public and private options, which I'll discuss on a consultation call if anybody wants a schedule. But typically, I get clients PPO plans that cover you nationwide, 0 to low deductibles, and I'm saving clients on average 20% on their insurance. So give me a call. Let me see if I'll help you out. It's a free consult. Let's get it.
Yeah, so anyways, you need coverage, give him a shout. I'll leave his information below. Or if you're just feeling lonely and you need somebody to chop it up with, he's a good cat, good guy. Anyways, back to the Eagles and the birds mating thing.
You have mating issue, you have rent issue.
What's the heart of the mating issue? Very briefly, because Chris Williamson spends a lot of time on this kind of stuff.
Yes. So the shortest answer I could give is I would say it's heavily an economics issue due to the structure of dating apps, where dating apps, and I'm friends with a lot of like dating content creators. This is something Homath has also said. That
Homath. Speaking of the mating issue, I wanted to thank everybody that's bought shirts recently, the RLP Classic. But, this is just hearsay, but apparently a lot of the dudes that bought a shirt recently, a lot more sex. Just throwing that out there. It's just what I heard in the reviews. Nothing just ironclad. Just throwing it out there. I appreciate everybody that bought a shirt.
That dating apps are the thing that killed it. Where you look at the chart of male virginity, it jumped from 8% when the iPhone was invented, and then it immediately went up to 27% over
when I meet a guy.
Okay, so remember the Eagles and the mating and then the no friends thing, but then it's good to have no friends because the Eagles soar alone. All right, this is going somewhere. And we're talking about relationships because typically that's usually when you get older, that's who you spend most of the time with. Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Anyways, here's what women think about guys who fly alone like big birds.
And slowly I'm finding out that they have no friends. That's like so concerning for me. I want a guy that has a great group of friends, has tight-knit people. You don't have to have family, but you got to have chosen family. There have got to be people that back you and support you, because if not, then what is wrong with you? If you don't have people in your life, that's very concerning to me. When I see that a guy doesn't have friends, or like even like on Hinge photos or in Instagram photos, like I want to see your people. I want to see who you hang out with. That to me is attractive, who you surround yourself with, and knowing that there's people that love you and you do fun things with them. You have a life outside of dating me.
You're not just flying around town solo. Now, I personally never used a dating app. I usually let women just pick me. I've never been good at just going up to a chick and being like, so, it's just, maybe I pulled that off once or twice in my life. But generally, they pick me. And if you were to like look at my dating app or like my Instagram, it would almost look like I really don't even have any friends. But really I do. I'm just bad at taking pictures in the moment. What am I supposed to do? Like hit up my boys and be like, yo, I'm cooking up my Hinge profile right now. You think we can get a couple of... But anyways, this guy right here, single for 9 years. Not looking too good. But this is like the new standard.
There's people that are committed to being single forever. It's crazy. I was talking to some dude at work. He's been single for 9 years. For 9 years. And he hasn't been with a woman in that way in almost 7. Dude, that's crazy. How are you doing that? How is anybody doing that?
He flies alone, bro. He's like, how is anybody doing that? I don't think it's that anyone wants to do that. But, like, let's be honest here. If... It's like I can't even get a friend, bro. Yet alone somebody to have sex with. I'm out here just soaring through the town. But this is kind of like the chick you just saw before, and then even this chick right here. It's kind of like, it's a headache. Like if my current girlfriend didn't just, wasn't like so into me, I wouldn't even pursued it. I've gone like a year or so without just no sex. But I'm not out here looking for it. It's too much of a headache. So I do understand why a lot of cats are single. And, let's be real. Motherfuckers is picky out here. Like, men, we'll dust a bitch off. Homeless chick. Be like, oh, she looks pretty good. Clean her up a little bit. Get her out of the sewer there. Put her some clothes on her. We're not so picky. Anyways.
No, but I just turned 35, and tell me why all the most amazing, attractive, beautiful, loving women that I know are all single right now. And I just saw...
Because they're too picky. That's just a guess. That's just my opinion. I don't know these people.
A statistic that said by 2030, 45% of women are going to be single. And they didn't say men, too. They said women because they're trying to highlight the fact that we're, like, taking our power back and we're setting boundaries and we're not accepting this behavior anymore. And I love this for us. I am so here for it. So if the Divine Feminine Collective is, like, setting all these boundaries, and then we're all just going to hang out with our best friends all day, and we're going to eat sweet treats and go on dinners and get all this love and support and happiness from our friends, we're going to be great. We're going to do okay.
That's probably not realistic. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I just am not good at... I still see my friends. I don't want to say that. It's just not as often. But I don't think that's how it's going to really work out. I could be tripping. I wish her all the best. I'm not trying to be negative here. I'm just saying, like...
But for them...
She's still going.
For the guys...
For guys?
Do they not realize that they need us? Because...
Back to this chick. I'm 37, have 0 friends. Go absolutely nowhere, except for the supermarket. Like, unfortunately, this is kind of... It's not just men. It's women, too. And I think it's great for society, honestly. Like, I'm not going to have toxic people in my life. That's what you hear all the time, It's like, maybe you're the toxic person, Rebecca. Anyways, back to this guy.
A third of men under 30 are virgins. Again, I assume that's an undercount. And so this is a huge issue. And
so this is the incel revolution, which is one of
exactly, yeah.
The incel revolution. That's tremendous. But here's the thing, though, right? This one's like POV. You have no friends, so you go to the movie alone. You go to the movies alone. That's kind of like... I don't want to say it's a bad thing, though. I'm not saying, like, being alone is terrible. I just think it's kind of funny that it's... When it gets to a point where it's like, how long can you be alone for? And then with stuff like this, how you're watching this probably on your phone, or maybe you're watching on the TV. But, like, I do this, too. And sometimes it's almost like when I'm driving, I'll have, like a podcast or something on, so I feel like somebody's with me. Does that make sense? Right? Or like when I'm whacking off alone at night, it feels as if a lady is there. No, I'm just kidding. But here's some more data showing the decline. Potential causes: digital dependence, like we were just saying. Over reliance on social media for social interaction can sometimes replace meaningful in-person connections. Yeah, like I said, you're snuggled up with it at night, your best friend, Work demands. This is a big one. Busy work schedules with long hours can limit time available for socializing. Got to get the money, to pay somebody else with. Even with this right now, like, I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just not going to edit anymore. I'm just going to go straight through. No more editing. I'm done. I'm just going to film all the time. I'm not going to edit shit. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay? Viewership's down. Who cares? All right? I want more time to be alone by myself. But seriously, though, like, work demands is a big one. Geographic mobility. Frequent moves can make it harder to maintain long-term relationships. Yeah, that's another one. I've been thinking about moving recently, maybe going, like, I'm in Florida, move to, like, Tennessee or something like that. But I'm like, who do we know there? Or we're like, we're going to move to Spain. It's like, I don't speak Spanish. Me amo yak. Pandemic impact. All right, we're just reaching here. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the first 3.
All right, and...
All right, back to this, dude. People don't have friends anymore. By Truth Tiger.
I heard back in the day people used to be friendly. People used to know their neighbors and stuff. Like, I don't know my neighbors, I mean...
He goes, I heard back in the day people used to know their neighbors. You know what's crazy? I lived in this small circular neighborhood, right, called Joggers Run. And just so happened to have, like, kids everywhere that were around my age. And then my parents were friends with all the neighbors, were friends with all the kids. We'd have them over for dinner. We'd have, like, barbecues and shit. Like, going on family neighbor vacations. So yeah, he's not tripping. That used to be a real thing. I'm actually friendly with my neighbors here. Got my neighbors Adrian and Bridget. We got the other cats. These people just moved, but Gus used to come over all the time. But that was like, you know, kind of years of like, you know, having to have small chit chat before that happened. But for the most part, like, I don't have dinner with my neighbors. Like, actually, we've moved our relationship up. I got my neighbors here. They watch my cat now when I go out of town. So we're slowly creeping in 5 years later. But yeah, for the most part, that's not really a thing anymore.
I know a few of them, I guess, but by and large, I don't know my neighbors, you know, and I don't know, if we could all just be friendly and you could just talk to people and you could walk, I mean, I talk to some random people sometimes, but it's pretty rare, you know, but if we could all just hang out and talk to each other and be friendly, you know, you got a dog, let me pet your dog, and, you know, that would just be so nice. That'd be heaven on earth, but this whole thing...
You know what I was thinking? Like I had a joke back in the day where it's like, you know when you go pet somebody's dog, it's almost like you greet the dog before the person. You notice that? It's like, oh my God, the dog's so cute. Hey, how you doing? Oh my God, look at him. It's something I noticed at one point in my life. I don't do that, but I caught myself doing that one time. Anyways.
People are so closed off and distrustful, and like, I get it. Like, I mean, on the aggregate, like, people are evil, and you got to be careful, you know? You don't want evil people to come in your life. I get it, you know? I feel the same way, but just this whole overarching, overly defensive, weird kind of attitude people have, like, we have to come out of that, because how long are we going to last like this, you know? Like, how long is this going to be able to stand up for?
I'd say a long time, as long as you got a dog. This is me and my lady's dog. She's taking a nice dump right here. But that's a big one. Animals. Just have a dog. Like he said, people are evil. You know, you're toxic. But that's a big one. As long as they're selling dogs out here, you know, I think it's going to hold up for quite some time. What? But here's another one right here. This is kind of like the getting comfortable being alone thing.
But he goes, being alone can be scary, and not in a bad way. It's scary that you can have that ability to be alone, because then you don't ever want to come back out of that.
Yeah, that's probably why I've been single. Like,
yeah, right?
Like, I don't need anyone to cook, clean, nothing.
No,
like, I'm good,
self-sufficient.
Yeah,
it's like sex. I don't need that, dude.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think that I don't know, that maybe makes me too picky then, or maybe I've shunned away like potential opportunities with women that otherwise would have been good for me or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're making them.
Yeah.
I love.
Meanwhile, I was like covered in head tattoos. It's like maybe that's like kind of. No, I don't really care about the head tattoos. I'm just saying, like, if I was covered in head tattoos, maybe it would increase my chances with women. I don't know. Anyways, but that was from a guy's perspective. But here's like how I feel. I think a lot of women feel. And a lot of dudes have just probably given up. But
I love being single and I love being on my own, but I will tell you, going home to an empty house, no kids, no significant other, and having to be alone in your thoughts for the evening is not fun.
You guys leave your thoughts, but this is back to the social media thing right here. When your man doesn't have any dude friends to do activities with, so he's watching these fools. Right here. This is kind of... I get it, though. He's just watching these guys hanging out on a YouTube video. And, like, what you're doing right now. Maybe, you know, you're probably alone. I mean, I do get messages on Instagram where it's like, me and my wife watch you all the time. Or it's like, couples watch me. So that's cool. On a family channel. But for the most part, you're probably alone right now. Just hanging out. Doing God knows what. I don't know what you're up to. But you feel like you're kind of hanging out with somebody. What's up, dude? Here. Take a hit of this. I'm just kidding, metaphorically speaking. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. I don't know what the answer is, okay? I just try and make an effort to see my friends. Making new friends is not easy. Good luck with the women stuff. For guys, at least. You could always go gay. People are doing that. It's popular, very progressive. I don't know why I just said that. But anyways, hell of a talk. Check out my second channel, or don't. Shout out to everybody who bought a shirt. Really do appreciate that. It has been increasing men's sex. That's what I read in the reviews. just making that up completely out of my ass. Anyways, yeah, give Ishmael a call. You need health insurance or just somebody to talk to. Solid talk.